In this video, we're going to explore angle of elevation and angle of depression. So they are a bit wordy, these definitions, but once you understand what they are, it's actually a fairly simple concept. Angle of elevation is when we look up at an object, the angle of elevation is formed by this line called line of sight and this horizontal line. And the horizontal line is sometimes more challenging because you have to think about it in a more abstract way. And a lot of times it's not drawn out for you, it's not spelled out for you. However, when you are given an application problem or a word problem, when they talk about if I look up to a lighthouse, you can assume that horizontal line is the line between my eyes and the object, which is parallel to the ground. So again, the angle of elevation is right here, is this little red corner here. That's the angle of elevation. And angle of depression is when we are looking at an object below, down below, and then there's an angle formed by, again, there's a horizontal line, and between your eyes and the object you're seeing. And the angle is right here, is this little red thing right here. Okay, so let's look at some practice problems. First problem, Casey sights the top of an 80-foot tall lighthouse at an angle of elevation of 58 degrees. So the key word here is the top. That's 84 feet tall. And the angle of elevation is 58 degrees. And Casey is 6 feet tall. How far is he standing from the base? So it's between the base of the lighthouse and Casey. So we have to draw a picture of this. This is going to be a real challenge for someone who flunked her art classes at a young age. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is Casey, and Casey is 6 feet tall, and this is not proportional, but if the lighthouse is here, let's see, what does lighthouse look like? There should be a light somewhere. So if Casey is looking up to the top, and the eyes to the lighthouse, the horizontal line is here, and this would be the angle of elevation at 58 degrees. And the lighthouse is, how tall? 84 feet tall, I think, right? So I'm asked, how far is he standing from the base of the lighthouse? So he's standing here, the base of the lighthouse is here, and that distance is the same as this horizontal line in this right triangle here. So if we let that distance equal x and use trigonometry, because I have one leg here, right? I have an angle opposite of it, and I want to know the other adjacent leg, so it's tangent of 58 degrees equals opposite, which is 78, that's 84 minus 6, over adjacent leg. And if you use your calculator, 78 divided by 1058, x comes out to be 48.7 feet. That's the answer here. Okay, so for this type of problems, always draw a diagram. It will make life a lot easier. So let's look at number 3. Leah's mom is standing at the bottom of the slide at the playground, waiting for Leah to slide down. If the angle of elevation from the bottom of the slide, it's from the bottom of the slide. The angle of elevation from the bottom of the slide to the top is 46 degrees. The slide has a very vertical height of 9 feet. Find the length. So let's draw this graph. Mom is here, and the slide is here. And we have a vertical height of 9 feet, right? That's feet. And we have an angle of elevation. In this case, is from the bottom of the slide. So if this side is the slide, the bottom of the slide to the top, that elevation is 46 degrees. And we want to know the length of the slide. So it's really how long the slide is. So in this case, we do sine of 46 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. Use your calculator. X comes out to be 12.5 feet. Okay. Next, let's look at an example of angle of depression. So a lifeguard is sitting on the platform looking down at a swimmer. I'm actually going to use this example, the graph on top. If the lifeguard's line of sight is 8 feet above the ground, so in other words, this part is 8 feet above the ground. And the angle of depression to the swimmer is 18 degrees. So this is 18 degrees. How far away is the swimmer from the lifeguard? So swimmer is here. If I want to know the distance is here, right? So notice how I first drew the horizontal line there. But since I want to know the distance right here, this part is exactly the same distance as up there. So if you want to use, and then this part would be 8. So if you want to use the red triangle on top, you can do that. Or guess what? Oops, I can't do this. Or you can use, or you know that this 18 degrees would transfer into 18 degrees here because these two lines are parallel and they are alternate interior angles, right? So once you analyze the graph like that, you can easily do tangent 18 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. Use your calculator. X comes out to be 24.6 feet. Okay. Let's look at number 7. Building A is 480 feet tall and building B is 654 feet tall. If the angle of depression from the top of building A, so we're looking at angle of depression, is the top of building B to the top of building A is 42 degrees. How far apart are the buildings? So I have one building at, so this is A at 480 feet tall. I have the next building at 654 feet tall, right? And then I have the angle of depression from B to A. So this is B, this is A. This angle of depression, so I'm talking about this angle, is 42 degrees. And how far apart are the buildings? So in other words, what is this length here? And I call this X, and this is the ground here. You know, obviously, that's it, right angle right there. So the trick is to find this part of the length, right? And this red angle here. And notice that this angle should be 42 degrees because this horizontal line and this line are parallel. They're alternate interior angles. So that should be 42 degrees. And over here should be 654 minus 480. That should give you 174. So your setup should be tangent 42 degrees equals opposite 174 over adjacent. And your final answer is about 193.2 feet. So as you can tell, those type of problems are not hard once you figure out the trigonometry or math problem, so to speak. The hard part is in the reading. So slow it down, circle out all the keywords, and set it up. And if you have missing information, go back to your wording and look for those missing information. Okay, guys, see you in class. Bye.